today we're going to do sun salutation. So, as you stand near the narrow edge of your mat, point your toes forward. Second toes forward, then track your knees, the center of your kneecap, in line with your second toe. Bring your front hip bones in. What you've been doing today. I should start off by saying, I know you're going to be watching perhaps some videos that are in the studio and there's nothing going on. This is my front porch, used to be front porch. All right, so feet, second toes forward, knees, front hip bones, breastbone, base of the throat, lining up. Shoulders, wrists, ankles, tops of the thighs, all lining up. Relax your jaw and your tongue. Close your eyes. Now, if you had what you want to, the base of your little toe, the base of your big toe, roll from the little toe to the big toe, and then come to the center of your heel. And can you put equal pressure in all three of those points in each foot? Don't lock your knees. Bring your calf muscles forward. Bring your front thigh muscles backward. And front hip bones come in. So you're opening up your lower back. You're taking your lower back ribs out of your kidneys, coming to the base of your sternum. Work to the bandhas. Mula bandha is the base of the body. The center, the middle bandha. Uddiyana bandha is there at the base of the breastbone. Jalandhara bandha is there at the base of the throat. You can just stack them up. Long, slow breaths. This is mountain pose. This is Tadasana. Breath deep at the base of your throat. All right, when you come to a new inhalation and open your eyes, we're going to bring the hands into prayer. Can you turn your long fingers towards the ceiling? When you inhale, you bring your arms out and around and up without pushing your belly forward. When you exhale, you sweep your arms out and around and you tilt your hips around the tops of your legs. Maybe bend your knees, put your elbows to your thighs. Maybe you can put your fingertips on the ground. Maybe put your palms down. Getting inward rotation through your thighs, the inside of your knees. Don't lock your knees. All right, so inhale, we're going to take the right foot back, so you're coming into a lunge. Hold your shoulders back. Bring your right hip bone round, so you can keep, if your left waist is short, lengthen your left waist. By bringing your right hip, the right top of your right thigh forward. And when you exhale, you come into downward facing dog. You keep your shoulder blades in your back. Are you breathing? Can you keep your chin tucked in? And then looking at your hands, when you inhale, plank pose, upward facing dog. Now, maybe you, see the same circle. Maybe you have to put your knees down, turn your toes backward. And as you bring your collarbones forward, bring the tops of your arms backward, maybe you can lift your knees. Bring your thoracic spine in behind your breastbone, widen your collarbones, hold the tops of your arms, pull backward through your hands. When you exhale, can you roll over your toes, back into down dog? No mat. Tuck your tummy in, tuck your chin in. Don't forget to breathe. All right, then looking at your hands, we're going to bring the right foot forward, however that works for you. Again, if your right waist is short, can you lengthen it by bringing this backward, keeping your knee in line with your ankle? Hold your shoulders back. Press into both feet. And when you exhale, you bring your left foot forward, forward, forward. Tuck your chin in. All right, so when you inhale, maybe you have to put your hands on your thighs. Maybe you can bring your arms out and around and lift yourself up. And ankles, hips, shoulders, lower ribs. When you exhale, bring your arms around, hands come back into prayer. Close your eyes. Relax your jaw and your tongue. Feel your breath. Long, slow breaths. Your heart rate will slow down more quickly if you take longer, slower breaths than if you have a puff. You have a puff, you're only using the upper part of your lungs. You're not getting into. All right, second side. Eyes open. Now you bring your arms out and around and up without pushing yourself forward. And when you exhale, you're going to tilt yourself forward. Wherever your hands reach. If you have to bend your knees, then bend your knees. And turn your inner thighs backward. Hold your shoulders back. Left foot, when you're ready to inhale, you step your left foot back. So you're in a lunge. Lift your collarbones. Lift the base of your neck. Don't forget to breathe. Press into your front foot. You got those 3 points in that front foot. Little toe, big toe, center of your heel. When you exhale, you bring your right foot back so you're downward facing dog. Feet lined up, come back with your inner heels. Your hands lined up, if you got all the weight in the heels of your hands, could you get the ends of your fingers, could you get all the joints of your fingers to work? Tuck your chin. All right, and then inhale, plank pose. And if you do chaturanga, you have to keep your shoulders back. Maybe your knees lift, maybe they don't lift. Hold your shoulders back, the tops of your knees, a backward energy through your arms, a forward energy through the tops of your thighs. Bring your front hip bones in so you're not collapsing your lower back. When you exhale, move back into down dog. However that works for you, tuck your chin. All right, left foot, look at your hands. When you inhale, you bring your left foot forward, however that works. If your left waist is short, can you level off your hips? Get an internal rotation with this right leg. And when you exhale, you bring your right foot forward, forward fold, hips tilting around the tops of the thighs. All right, when you're ready to inhale, however it is that you get yourself back up. And exhale, bringing your arms down, hands come into prayer. Close your eyes. Long, slow, deep breaths. All right, you're going to shake your arms and your legs. All right, so we've done a lot with sun salutation works all of your muscle joints, all of your muscle groups, and all of your joints. So when you bring your arms up, and I'll be your mirror image, so we're going to hold on to the right wrist with the left hand. Now pull this in, turn this in, so that when you come out to your right side, you bring your ear towards your arm. So you're opening up the left side of the spine. You know what your spine looks like. If you don't, then go and have a look it up. Google it. Don't forget to breathe. 3 points in each foot, little toe, big toe, center of your heel evenly. When you aim even weight, when you inhale, you come back up. We'll hold on to the right wrist with the left hand. Stretch it up from your hip, from your thigh to your fingertips. Stretch your fingertips. Like as you come out to the other side, don't forget to breathe. So bring up all this right side of the spine. A good pull on this right wrist. Let your head come towards your arm. When you inhale, you lift yourself back up, bring your arms around, and roll your shoulders. Have you shake. Have you bring your right foot forward. Put your toes in the ground, and then do some flex your ankle. So you open the front of the ankle, you stretch the Achilles, do some circles this way, change direction. Then bring your leg behind you and give it a shake. All right, we'll do the other side. So toes on the ground. Maybe you have to put your toes on the ground every time. And then a couple circles in, a couple circles out, it doesn't matter which way. And then give your leg a shake at the back. How's your breath? Is it deep in your throat? Is it deep into your diaphragm? Long, slow breaths. All right, we're going to do tree pose. We do the same poses. Can you point your toes down, whether they're on the floor or whether they're here, try not on your knee. You want the hip bones to come in. So if you're tight here in your groin, then your knee's not going to come very far. When this hip opens up, and we work on it all the time, every time you do these poses, you come with a different energy. When you're ready to bring your arms out and around and up. When you bring your hands together above the crown, push them together so you can maybe find your shoulder blades, your triceps. Maybe these lat muscles here, you wrap around from the back toward the front. Inhale, you stretch it right up, and exhale, coming around, hands come back. We'll do the other side. Point your second toe forward. Track the middle of your kneecap with your second toe. Again, front hip bones come in, lower ribs come in. The bandhas, the base of the body, the center of the base of the breastbone, the base of the throat. Mula, Uddiyana, Jalandhara, Bandha. Stack them up, front to back, right to left. When you bring your arms out and around and up, can you do that without letting this come forward? Can you keep that stack up over the bandhas? When you bring your hands together, push them together. Can you get your lat muscles, can you come from your back ribs around toward your side ribs, under your arm and towards your armpits? Maybe. When you inhale, come back up. And exhale, coming around, hands come back. Now shake your legs and your arms. Movement is medicine. The more you move, the more you'll be able to move. You all know that. Okay. We'll do triangle pose. To your right, you need an angle in this back foot. I've been looking at some photos. of some of you. And this back foot has to turn. Little toe, big toe, center of heel, outer foot here. This is an internal here. Can you line up your right hip and your right ribs and shoulder with your right leg? It'll help you stand tall. And when you come into your triangle pose, it's not how far you go. It's about keeping this alignment, keeping this strength. Pull your legs in. 3 points in each foot. So you bring the back of your hand to your leg, put your palm to your leg. This arm is important. This right arm is important. Now go press down with your right hand. Bring your left hand away from your right hand. Now, look with your mind's eye. Look at the shape of your spine. Have you collapsed the lumbar spine? Have you collapsed the base, the neck, the back of the neck? Can you widen your collarbones? Don't forget to breathe. Don't lock your knees. I'm getting energy backward through your big toes, from your little toe to your big toe. When you inhale and you lift yourself back up, we'll come around the other side. This back foot needs to turn. This is an internal, this is an external, but this is an internal. This is base of the body, base of the breastbone, base of the throat. Stack them up. So that when you come out into your triangle pose, can you keep those lined up? What happens to a lot of us is this one. We tend to lift up through here. You want to bring your lower ribs, you want to bring the base of the breastbone toward the front leg. So, got the inner thigh working, the inner knees working. Can you get these abdominals to work? I said this arm is important. Use it. It's the third side of the triangle. I've said this before. Triangle is the strongest shape. Pull your legs in, there's a triangle there. Here's your second triangle, your leg, your spine, and your arm. Tuck your chin, maybe you turn your face. Inhale, you come back up. And you modify these however, that doesn't work for me today. I've been raking all day. I've been sitting on the couch all day. What are you even doing? All right. We're going to do revolved triangle. So I'm going to bring my right foot forward, my left foot backward. I'm going to use my legs. I'm going to lock my knees. I'm going to use these abdominals so that when I start coming forward, you're using the glute muscles. So when you come up and you bring your left hand to your right leg, now again, if bringing your hand down too far doesn't work, then you can't keep this alignment, then don't go so far. You bring the palm of your left hand to your right leg, you bring the back of your left hand to your right leg, you would keep your right thumb here at the crease of the top, at the hip crease here at the top of the thigh. We're using your feet. You're lifting your kneecaps. Maybe this right hand comes up, bring the collarbone, the top of this arm away from the right foot. Tuck your chin in, turn your face maybe. Now use your feet. When you inhale, you come back up. We'll come around the other side. So, however it works for you. Both feet turn to the left. Now pull this in. These bandhas, can you keep those lined up? So that means you're going to hold on here. You're going to lift through here. You're going to hold on and lift through here. You're going to hold on and lift through here. So the back of your neck is long. You then come forward. And you bring your right hand to your left leg again. Maybe you're here. I'm really tight in my lower back today, so you don't go so far. Maybe bring your hand, maybe if you need a block, you got a block at home, or a book, a thick book, or a little stool. It's a rotation of your spine. Lengthen it. Go down through your sacrum. Lift up through the Mula Bandha. Right here, what's happening right here, what's happening here at the base of the throat. All right, then use your feet. When you inhale, you come back up, turning your feet round. Bend your knees, hang down over your legs. Now shift around, then shift around. Long, slow breaths. All right, and then inhale, coming back up. We're going to do warrior one to the right. So again, I'll turn. So again, can you bring this left hip bone around? You want the top of your hips to come up. So again, it's this Mula Bandha, Uddiyana Bandha, Jalandhara Bandha. Line them up. So it's really easy, especially for me, when I raise my arms or bend my knee, to forget this or to lose it. So it's a big step out. Get the big toes to work. Get this back heel to work. This back leg is strong. And raise your arms without you losing this. Can you find your triceps here? And when you pull into backward through your right foot to bend your knee, and you lift and widen your collarbones. Can you lift up through the base of your body? Can you pull back and lift up through the base of the breastbone, the base of the throat? Try to push the base of your throat forward. It interferes with all that stuff that goes on in your neck, that important stuff between your brain and your body. At the outside of that back foot working, got the big toe of this front foot working. You're breathing, long, slow breaths. When you inhale, you come back up, turning your feet around. Keep your arms up, bring them down. There we go. Bring this right hip around. Now again, you want to sit your pelvic bones upright, and you want to pull them in, and you want to lift up through the base of the body, the pelvic floor. A strong pelvic floor. You want to strong through the diaphragm. So you got that. When you inhale, you raise your arms. When you're ready, and you bend your energy backward through your left foot. This right leg is strong. Can that be an internal? Now, you can lift your jaw, but don't harden your throat. There's a huge difference there. So you're not just letting the base of your skull fall into the top of your spine. You're holding the weight of your head. What about letting this right side wrap around some? And inhale, coming back up. And your feet back. We'll do a warrior two. And you're looking for small things, and if we learn by repetition. So you do it again and again and again, and because then you go, oh, if I did this with my foot, if I did this with my breath, if I relaxed my jaw. So it's a big step out. We're going to go to your right. This is an internal. This is an internal. This is an external, without losing the big toe. Lift up through the perineum. Lift up through the diaphragm. Lift up through the throat. To hold yourself. You're working with gravity. You're working against gravity. Gravity holds you, but can you lift yourself away from it? Push down, lift up. So the dividing line is about here. Get your triceps work. Stretch your fingers long. Drop your shoulder blades down. When you bend your right knee, you want your knee to stay. You want your knee to track over your second toe. Shoulder blades go down. Turn your face. You got this. You're holding on here. So coming in here, coming in here. Stretch your fingers. Widen your fingers. And breathe. You think your shoulders, your collarbones are equal distance from your hands, equal distance from the ground. But inhale, you come back up. Turning your feet round, you're going to roll your shoulders. You bend one knee at a time. We'll go the other way. So you need to turn both feet. You can't get an internal here if your toes are going this way. Your knee won't be happy. This psoas muscle won't be happy. 3 points to each foot. Shoulder blades down. Back of the neck long. When you plunge through your left foot, can you find your calf muscles against your shin bone? Because you want to deepen the front of your ankle. You want the top of the shin bone and the end of your shin bones to come forward. How else do those shin bones move? Your triceps to shoulders down. If the middle bond is going sideways, can you manage to bring that back? 1, 2, 3. Center line. Lots of energy going through those places. And inhale, you come back up. Turn your feet around. We'll do a wide angle. So point your toes forward. You need to bend your knees, maybe. And if you had your heel, you don't want to take your hips way backward. You'd like to keep this line here. And you want to tilt your hips. You need to bend your knees, You want your hands on the ground. You want your hands to the outside edges of your legs, your ankles. Tuck your chin. You can widen your heels if you want. Change your feet if you want to. And bring your hands to the floor. Can you turn your inner thighs backward? Your inner knees. Come backward from your little toe to your big toe, backward through your big toe to your inner heel. Release the back of your neck. You want to interlace your fingers behind your head, keeping your elbows wide. To stretch the spine. All right, and then come back. We'll jump the feet back, and we'll stand up. Long, slow breaths, yes. We'll do warrior 3. Again. When you bend your knee, keep your knee bent. Shift your weight, keep your knee bent. See about lifting your, find the strength of that leg. Bend it, lengthen it, bend it, lengthen it. So that when you come into this, when you lift your left foot off the ground, now, maybe you need to keep your hands on your thigh. Maybe you need to use the wall. You can put your hands against the wall if you can you level off your hips. You can take your arms sideways. You can bring them forward. The strength in this leg. Lost it. All right, then come back. We'll do the other side. The strength in this standing leg. In the quads, lengthening through the hamstrings. You need your calf muscles to work. So again, as you put your right foot back and you bend your left leg, find the strength of it. So you find the ankle, knee, hip, top of the thigh, so that when you then lift that back foot off the ground, you've got the strength, you got it all lined up. Lengthen the back of your neck. Pull the base of your breastbone backward. You can't do it. Do as I say, not as I do. All right, and then come back. Can't watch and talk at the same time. Okay, we'll come onto our tummy. We'll come onto hands and knees. We'll do cat-cow. So, long finger, widen your fingers. Feel the spaces between your fingers. Feel the spaces between your toes. Now, again, pull the breastbone backward. Hold your shoulder blades backward. If you're not sure, bring them up, take them down. You don't want to be stuck down. All right, so when you inhale, you lift your hips and your head, opening the front side of your body. When you exhale, you tuck your chin and your tail under, stretching the back side of your body. Go back and forth with your breath. Uncurl your toes. If you've got all the weight in the heels of your hands, could you reduce some of that? Could you get all of your fingers? Could you get all of your knuckles? The skin of all of your knuckles to be engaged. All right, then coming into child's pose. You want to shift back and forth. How does your lower back feel today? Different this social distancing that we're doing, different activities, different energy, different thoughts, different awarenesses. We're going to do camel. So when you come up onto your knees and cushion yourself, if you need to cushion yourself, bring your hands to your hips. Again, you don't want to push the base of the breastbone. If you get the base of the body, the base of the breastbone, the base of the throat lined up, have your elbows in. Now, if you think if you're going to start trying to bring your hands to your feet, you could turn your toes under. They'd be closer. And it's good for the Achilles, it's good at the back of your ankle, it's good for the soles of your feet. If you anyone suffers with plantar fasciitis, plantar fascia, fascial tissue in the soles of your feet. So stretch it out. Have your elbows in, your breastbone backward. When you lift, okay, press down. Can you lift yourself away from the energy, using gravity, pulling away from gravity? Don't be stiff. It's not that stiff. Widen your toes. So, again, if you want to bring your hands to your feet, you bring your hands to your feet. If that's not a good idea, relax your jaw, deepen your throat, pull the base of the breastbone backward. When you come up, you're not finished until you're all the way back up. Careful of your lower back. And then slowly come into child's pose. Shifting around, how's your breath? Long and slow. Let's come onto our hands and knees again. And start holding on to your right foot with your left hand. Don't lose your balance, don't fall on your nose. As you lift your right knee off the ground, can you bring your right heel toward the line of your tailbone? Have you got your tummy tucked in? You got your shoulders back? So when you start taking your heel away from your hip, and you bring your spine in behind your breastbone, your knee may lift. It's about the heel going backward, so the breastbone, the thoracic spine can come forward. Alright, then come back down. Alright, we'll do the other side. So we'll hold on to the left ankle with the right hand. Don't fall on your nose. Alright, so as you lift your knee first, and flex your ankle. What's happening in this right shoulder, chest, collarbone. So when you start taking your heel away from your hip, and you bring your spine in behind your breastbone, you soften your throat, relax your jaw, press this floor foot down, press the floor hand down, and then come back. Ease your way into child's pose. Breathe. Shift around if you want to shift around. Let's do Cobra. Coming onto your tummy. Hug your elbows in. Tuck your chin in. Pull the base of your breastbone in. Widen the bones of your feet. Widen the bones of your hands. Use all the parts of your fingers. Use all of your knuckles. Come backward through your thumbs. Come backward through the tops of your arms. Come backward through the base of the throat, the base of the breastbone. You lift yourself up. I see a lot of people, a lot of pictures go, bring the base of your neck, engage the base of your neck. Then if you want to move your chin forward, your jawbone forward, but don't collapse into that. All right, and then exhale, coming back down. You're going to rest your head on your hands. You're going to turn your face. Relax your jaw and your tongue. How's your breath? Lots of it, lots of long, slow breaths. All right, we're coming to downward facing dog. So we're going to do it from here. You need to come onto your hands and knees, whatever. So when you're ready, you get the base of the neck, lengthen the base of your neck, deepen your throat, and you lift yourself up. And you come into downward facing dog. Line up your feet. Line up your hands, go backward through your thumbs. Widen your fingers, widen the bones of your feet, widen your toes. Now, can you lift up through the perineum, the base of the body, the pelvic floor, Mula Bandha? Can you lift up, bring the base of the breastbone toward the spine, the base of the throat toward the back of the neck? And your shoulders, instead of coming up into your neck, your shoulder blades come into your back and slide down. Long, slow breaths. You're using all the parts of your fingers, all the parts of your toes. Can you feel your toes? Can you feel all 10 toes? If you divide them up, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, each foot. Go back and check your hands again. Go back and check those bandhas again. So you're holding the front side of the spine, you're holding the base of the spine, the middle of the spine, the top of the spine, or the top of the thoracic spine. And you're breathing long, slow, deep breaths, yes? Relax your jaw. Alright, and then come back down. Child's pose. We've been doing this upside down time. Maybe working on crow pose, working on headstand. So you could turn it off for a moment. Put your legs up the wall. Yesterday we did, or last time I did this, it was legs up the wall with some variations. Shoulder balance, we've done shoulder balance. We're working on crow pose. It's easier if you lift yourself up and come down into it rather than trying to lift yourself up after you're into it. Forget to breathe. Plug your legs in. Press your arms against your legs. If you're just beginning crow pose, you might want to put some cushions in front of you, because if you lose it, you're going to go forward. If you've got glasses on, you might take your glasses off. All right. And then when you're ready, you come back down. If you've turned it over, you've paused it. We're going to do 3 stages with lift. So as you roll onto your back, and you roll you stretch your spine. We're going to lengthen the legs. You need this front body to come in. You need the bandhas to line them up. You could bring your hands down by your hips, but if you do that, it's easy to let the tops of your arms come. So you want the tops of your arms, your shoulder blades to come down. And you're using your tricep. You could bring your arms out sideways. You could bring your hands room above your head. Flex your ankles. Deepen the fronts of your ankles. Stretch your Achilles. Get your hamstring, your quad muscles to work. Get these abdominals to work. When you inhale, you raise your legs to 30 degrees. Get that internal with your legs. Stretch your fingers, lower your chin. When you inhale, you bring your legs to 60 degrees. Lower your lower back. You lift up through the pelvic floor. When you inhale, you bring your feet toward the ceiling, keeping your hips on the ground. And you widen your little toes. Your big toes are closer to you. You haven't got any internal here. So you take from the little toe to the big toe to the heel to get that internal with your legs. You need that. It makes it easier. When you exhale, you lower your legs to 60, modified however you need to. Maybe you need to bend your knees right now. And when you exhale, you lower your legs to 30, lower your chin, soften your throat, relax your jaw. And when you exhale again, you bring your legs back in. Bring your legs in. I'm going to bring the right ankle to the left thigh. As you press down, stretch your arms. Your fingers are long. Open your palms. When you press down with your left foot and you're bring the energy of your foot towards your hip without moving it unless you need to shift it. The energy of your right knee goes wide, flex your ankle. Now, pull the tops of your arms in. When you start bringing your legs out towards your right side, use your right ankle to bring your left leg across. Feel what's happening in your lower back. Your upper back, if you don't do anything with your arms, there's no strength in your upper back. You have to pull your arms in. When you inhale, you bring your legs back up. Keep your right ankle. We're going to bring the legs out the other side. And see about bringing your right knee towards your left foot. Soften your throat. Then inhale, come back up. We'll change legs. We'll bring the left ankle to the right thigh. Flex your ankle. If you push it down and pull energy through your right foot towards your hip, and get your thighs to it. And you widen your left knee. And when you exhale in, you come out to your left side with your legs. Can you keep your ribs? Can you turn your left ribs toward the right? You're holding on to the base of your breastbone. stretching your fingers out, but pulling the tops of your arms in. When you inhale, you come back up. We're going to come the other way. So as you bring your left knee towards your right foot. So now you're using your left foot to take your right knee out sideways to move the thigh bone, the right thigh bone, the left thigh bone. When you inhale, you come back up. Pulling your feet down. We're going to sit up. Legs in front. I'm going to have you bend your legs just enough to bring the soles of your feet together. Press your feet together, press your hands down, press your knees up. Now, can you get your hands, your legs to work, your thigh muscles to work? Now, as you push down with your hands and you start pulling backward, hug your elbows in. If your elbows come backward, your side ribs will come forward. Release the base of your neck. Now bring your hands to your feet. You need to bring your hands behind you. Release the base of your neck. Hold your shoulders and your back. Don't forget to be sacrum, your lower back, you'd like that to be open. You bring your front hip bones toward one another without lifting your knees. Inhale, come back up. You're going to bring the right ankle to the left thigh. You want your left toes, second toe to go toward the ceiling. Maybe you have to have your foot down here. Maybe you're tight in this hip, this knee, this right thigh, right hip. I'm going to walk the base of your hips backward. Now, last time we did this, I had your hand here on your sacrum, long finger, thumb here at your collarbones. Don't be stiff. It's not about stiff. Flex your ankles, this right ankle, pull your knee wide. So when you start coming forward, now maybe you've got that all figured out and you can do it from here. Maybe you have to keep your hands here. Don't forget to breathe again. Release the base of your neck. Can you come forward through your collarbones? How's your lower back? The bandhas, you've got the bandhas, base of the, can you lift up through the pelvic floor? Can you bring the base of the breastbone toward the spine, the base of the neck toward the base of the base of the throat toward the base of the neck? And then inhale. We'll change legs. So again, you're going to walk your hips backward. Pull this left knee wide. Again, my long leg was rolling out. So you want your second toe, the middle of your kneecap to track toward the ceiling, lining it up. Little toe, big toe, center of your heel, like we did in the very beginning when we did mountain pose. Again, you can bring your hands around your foot. You can hold on to your right wrist with your left hand, but don't lose the right leg. And don't collapse into this. You breathing? All right, and then inhale, coming back up. Circles with your feet. I'm going to do a wide angle. Now, again, engage your feet. Roll from your little toe to your big toe to your center of your heel. You're going to press here to make sure your legs are working. You press out with your hands and in with your legs. You don't want to lose the legs. You don't want to lose the openness of your collarbones. Now, hands behind you. Come down to your forearms, release your neck, base of your neck. Maybe stretch your arms out further. Pull the tops of your thighs backward. Pull your front hip bones in. Lift up through the pelvic floor. Deepen your throat, relax your jaw. Pull the shoulders coming into your neck, pull backward from your fingers. So the tops of your arms stay backward. And then coming back up. Full forward bend. You know all you've heard. Little toe to the big toe. So if your big toes are closer to you, you don't have any internal rotation with your legs. So you need to push the base of your big toe away from you. so you can get the legs to work. So you can get this to deepen. So you've got a base. So this is going down. Now can you lift yourself up away from that to come forward? Again, you know, the modifications. People go, oh, I can't do yoga, I can't touch my toes. Well, bend your knees. There's your toes. Relax your jaw and your tongue. The energy of your arms is a backward. So your collarbones, your chest. You want your breath to be able to come into all of the places of your lungs. All right, and then inhale, coming back up. Go ahead and have you bring your feet out to your left side. Yes, your left side. You put your left shin in the instep of your right foot. Now, hug this in. You're going to roll your belly to your right. Tuck your chin. Now push down with your hands and your feet and your knees and lift yourself up. Lengthen your spine so you create more and more internal space. Then there's less inflammation, there's less friction, there's less discomfort. If you want to come down onto your chest, tuck your chin in. Feel the entire length of your spine. Feel what's happening all the way along. Breathe and wait for the exhalation part. All right, and then come back up. We'll come the other way. So we'll bring your feet out to the right side, to your right side. Maybe your right foot, your right shin could come into the instep of your left foot, and your hands come around to the right. And maybe this is all you got. Press down with your hands, press down with your feet. Lift yourself, lift your rib cage. Not the front of it, but all of it. And then find some churn. And come down to your forearms. Don't lose it down. Don't lose the lengthening of the spine. You don't want to collapse here at the base of your rib cage at the back. And you come down onto your chest. All right. And then settle yourself for Shavasana. So just spread eagle on the ground, make yourself comfortable. If long legs, if your lower back isn't happy with long legs, then bend your knees. Or, you know, maybe you've got some props where you do your yoga. You could roll up a blanket, put a blanket under your knees or under your head. If you feel that really tight in your neck today, then put a blanket, a folded blanket under your head. And relax. As your big toes roll out, your arms roll out, your palms are up. And just relax. Tap into your breath. Long and slow. Could the inhalation part of your breath come down your spine toward the base of your body? And the exhalation come back up to the base of the throat. You know where your arms and your legs are. You don't have to move or see them to know where they are. Relax your jaw and your tongue, the skin over your nose and cheekbones. How's the base of your neck feel? Back of your neck. Important to do Shavasana at the end. Does it feel like the inhalation part of your breath comes down your spine, each side, and the exhalation part comes back up? On one of your exhalations, turn your eyes down. Change how your breath feels. Stay if you want. When you're finished, roll onto your right side. Namaste. Happy Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Well done.